You have just tuned into the Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio Show. I am Bernard Mitchell, aka Mr. BU. You with me for one full hour of information, revelation, and application, and hopefully there's no frustration. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to another episode of Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. This is Mr. BU, and I just want to say thank you for sharing your time again with me today. Today is a wonderful day to be able to talk about maximizing who you are. It's a wonderful day to talk about bringing out the better you, the greater you, or as a good friend of mine, Dr. Shakina Moore says, unbecoming. I like that. The unbecoming of you, unbecoming. And what does that entail? That means that you are coming out of, is like the Bible says, you put away the old man and put on the new, who you really are. Put all those things behind you, who you were, what life has influenced you to become, all the things that have curved and shaped your thinking to that of what I call stinking thinking. Yes, stinking thinking. Thinking negative about yourself, having a negative perspective about life, people, and things. Having that view that is kind of skewed because of pain, hurt, disappointments, betrayals, so forth and so on. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about today's topic. We're going to talk about the greater works of you. The greater works of you. You are the greater work. See, here's the thing about when I talk about maximizing who you are, unbecoming, emerging, discovering, all these wonderful things I've been talking about throughout this season and last season in regards to who you really are. One thing I want you to know and understand is that who you are now, that is not who you are to be. See, here's one thing about many of us. Now, I'm not going to say this is not a blanket to everyone, just a disclaimer. Everyone, there are many people who got it. They understand it. They're living it. They're living in their design. Because if you're not living in your design, you're out of your mind. Either you're in your design or you're out of your mind. What I mean when I say you're out of your mind, you're not where you need to be. You're not in focus. You are not in sync. You are not living in who you really are. See, here's the thing about it. Jesus, Yeshua, said, greater works you shall do. Greater works you shall do. This is what he told the disciples. Greater works you shall do. See, that shall, there isn't, when someone says shall, that's different than should. Shall, that is a guarantee. When someone says should, that is like a possibility. That's like you playing spades. I got 4 in a possible. 4, I shall get 4 books. That possible, I maybe should, I maybe would. Okay, if everything falls out correctly, it should happen. No. When it comes to you, it's not like space, 4 and a possible. No, we're talking about the 4 that are definite. You are one of the definite ones. You have been created. You have been designed. You have been engineered. You have been, there is the seed inside of you. I talk about this all the time. The seed inside of you. It's been on me all week to talk about this. I guess this is to reiterate in regards to someone out there needs to hear that the greater work, you are the greater work. You just have to become or unbecome. Let me say it. Excuse me. Unbecome. If Dr. Moore's hearing it, unbecome. All the stinking thinking that you put on yourself throughout these years. Yes, I understand, Mr. BU, I've been hurt. Mr. BU, or Bernard, bruh, you don't know what I've been through, bruh. I had this situation, bruh. I had that situation. I went through this. I'm tired. I'm sick. I'm disgusted, man. It's got to get better than this. You are the better. You are the better to someone's life. You are the better to a group. You are the better to a nation. You are the better. Now, I know some people says you making this like a humanistic thing. It's all about the people. Now, look, let me tell you something. Many people focus on God. Yes, God did. Let me tell you something. It is a team effort between myself and the Most High Yah. Yes, the Lord has inspired me to do this. The Lord has created me to become. However, I can't, it has to happen through me. What He has designed me to do happens through me. What is going to happen to you through me has to happen from me. The greater work of myself, I must do. See, you don't benefit if I don't unbecome. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa. I can't receive from you if you don't unbecome. I like that word, unbecome. I'm going to Dr. Moore. Thank you very much. I know you coined that as part of what you do, but I give you credit. I want to use that word more often, unbecome, in my vocabulary, because many times we say you're becoming. However, in speaking with her and understanding, the tree was a tree when it was a seed. It just had to grow into. It already was. When you were just a seed in your mother's womb, you already were. You didn't have to become anything. You already were. Everything you need to become, everything you need to do the work, everything that you need everything you need is in the seed. You just have to discover. It's not about becoming. It's about unbecoming. Everything that life has influenced you to become, and the warped thinking that has come in regards to incomplete and fake and false theologies. See, that's the part that many people do not get. This is the part that many people don't understand. You see what I'm saying? See, teachers are held to a higher standard of accountability. If you're teaching, there's a higher level of accountability. There's a higher, there is a certain ridicule that comes when you say you are a teacher. That's why I do not downplay elementary school teachers, high school teachers, middle school, junior high teachers. If it's still junior high or if it's middle school, however the case, whatever the case may be, these teachers, they shape our future. Their focus are the future leaders, which are the children of today. So when we talk about unbecoming, you must be able to be around sound teaching, people who can give you sound wisdom, people who can give you sound advice, application. You don't want anyone speaking to you who's going to give you what you want to hear as opposed to what you need to hear. There's a difference. There's a difference. When we're talking about you becoming, unbecoming, I got to work on that. When we talk about you unbecoming, when we talk about you maximizing who you are, when we talk about you being the greater work, when it says greater works you shall do, Jesus said, greater works you shall do. That guarantee that you shall do greater works, it only happens when you really begin to discover who you are. It only happens when you begin to live as who you really are, your strengths, your talents, your gift, and not just discovering them. You don't stop at discovery. No, you don't stop there. You keep going. You discover, you analyze, you study. You have to master those things about yourself. Just like a gentleman who teaches, he said, we must attain the level of mastery when it comes to ourselves. So we can't master other people. You can't master someone else, but you can master some things you learn as far as becoming skilled, highly skilled at who you are. Being diligent in what you do as far as your vocation. See, there should be no separation between who you are and what you do. There should not be a separation. Now, there you go. There's the possible. Because with many people, there's a separation. with many people, they cannot become the greater work because there's a separation between who they are and what they do. All that lines up. Everything lines up. And when you understand what it is to become the greater work, when you understand what it is, it's not about getting on a pulpit, preaching, talking to a group of people. No, it's not about that. It's what you do in the world. It is what you do out in the public. Are you a difference maker? You may be designed to be a difference maker in your family, a difference maker in the community, within government, between nations. You never know if you don't unbecome. You could be so stifled with things that people say. Again, I say this out. I'm going to say this until I leave this earth. Many of us are misidentified. And to be misidentified is to be disqualified from whom you truly are. I'll say it again. To be misidentified is to be disqualified from whom you truly are. And when we really are talking about unbecoming, getting all that off, getting to the center, peeling the layers of the onion, so to speak. Now we're talking about getting down to the core, and it's not easy. I will not mislead you and say this is an easy work. It's not easy unbecoming. It's not easy putting away all these things that you thought were true, and then you begin to realize they're not. It's not easy when you finally realize that you believe some things that were not true. It's hard when you begin to see the truth for what it really is, when you have your awakening. Let's take a break. We're going to take a commercial break, and I'll be back with more Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. This is Mr. B-U talking about unbecoming. Welcome back to Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. This is Mr. B-U, and we're talking about the greater work. You are the greater work, or unbecoming. Dr. Moore, I give you credit. Yes, unbecoming, or the greater you, becoming. I'll take that back again. Unbecoming. Dr. Moore, I'm going to have to really work on that terminology. Because once she was stressing it, she hit some great points, and now I'm there with the unbecoming. I appreciate you. Now, talking about you unbecoming, peeling the layers, so to speak, like an onion off your life. These years and years is like if you have ever looked at a tree, when the tree is chopped down and you look inside and you see the layers, the layer, for every year, there's a ring around a ring and a ring to show the growth. How many of us have allowed a hard exterior to grow around us because of being darkened, the Bible says. Many of us are darkened. And darkened means that you are blind to the fact. We have become blind to the fact of who we are. We have become blind to the fact of our strengths. We have been blind to the fact of our potential. We've been blinded. Blinded by what? Deep hurt. We've been blinded by betrayals. We've been blinded by situations, divorce, abuse, misuse. We've been blinded by those who we trusted saying things to us, low grade, downgrading us, not knowing that we have embraced what has been said to us over the years. Well, now you say you want to do something and someone's always knocking it down. You are this dreamer, this innovator, this person who could bring great things to the table, but yet you have someone who is connected to you. Every time you say something, they're knocking it down, making you feel like, that's not good. That's not this. And over the years, you have come to accept that which is false about yourself. How many of us are like that? Raise your hand if that's been you. That you have been silenced over the years. You have been silenced. At one point, your voice was valid. At one point, you had strength when you spoke. At one point, you were able to speak You were able, and you had passion for the things you said, but because someone close to you did a low grade shut down, like a stop work order on your voice, on your thinking, on who you are, and you have shut down, and you have yet to unbecome from that. You have yet to unbecome from that low grade shutdown. Misidentification. I will say it again. To be misidentified is to be disqualified from whom you truly are. So how much longer do you live misidentified? How much longer do you live disqualified from whom you truly are? How much longer do we wait until you unbecome and become the greater work that we need in this world today? See, here's the thing about it. No one knows what you will become. We don't know this. We don't know what you hold inside. See, the Bible says this treasure in earthen vessels. There is a treasure inside of you that we are to experience within. When you exhibit this treasure, it's then called a gift. It's then called a gift because you are giving it to the world. This gifted people, gifted. See, the gift is not for you. The gift is to be shared with the world. And when you unbecome and you remove the blockers off of yourself, when you take off the blinders off your eyes, if you truly begin to see who you are, you see that you're beautiful. You see that you're wonderful. You'll see that you have greatness. You'll see that you have passion. You see you have zeal. You see you have a zest for life. You will see that many of us take on other people's personalities, unaware. You connect with people and you take up their personalities. They act like they're like this, but then you take on who they are. So now you become an actor. One thing about a professional actor is a professional liar. And I'm not talking about one who's deceiving you in everyday life. I'm talking about these people make you believe something about them. They're this person. That's not true. They're not truly this person, but they are so skilled at what they do in their trade of being an actor or an actress. They will make you believe that this is them. How many times, let's just talk about certain comic now we're seeing this rise in comic movies. These from the comic books, these superheroes. How many times have you seen one of the characters? Someone has seen the character in public, and you have actually identified them by the character and not the true person. See, that is what I'm saying. And here's the thing. This person, you have become just like that person. You have picked up a personality that is not really you, and people identify you by this false personality of you. And now you're trying, you're not meaning to, but you want people to know who you really are. Inside, you are screaming for, I'm here. Inside, the true you is saying, I'm here. Pick me. I'm here. And on the outside, you are exhibiting someone who doesn't really exist. See, this is a mild form of schizophrenia, double personalities. What does the Bible say about it? A double-minded man or dual personality person is unstable in all their ways. This is who you really are, but this is who you're portraying. So there's a war of two worlds. Who is going to take the lead today? Who? You're looking around like, oh, who? But I mean it. I mean what I say. That even when you talk about those, a lot of professional performers have to become someone who they're not. A lot of people you see on the stage, this is not who they are in everyday life. A lot of people you see doing music, this is not who they are in real life. You see some people in their strength and their power. You see them operating in their strength and their power and their true identity, true form, rawness, wonderfulness. And then off the stage, they become who life has influenced them to be. They have not unbecome from that. It's like, I'm off the stage, I'm this person. But when I'm on the stage, I'm this person. I feel I'm at the top. That person right there, that is who you're supposed to be every day of your life. That person, when you feel you're at your strength, like no, you feel like you are untouchable, unstoppable, when you're in your element, so to speak, that is your everyday person. But some people is when they get on the job. When they get on the job, they're one of the top performers. It doesn't even feel like work. You're doing the best in this, and you just flow. And then you get off work, go home, have to take a deep breath just to walk in the door and become somebody other than who you exhibited on the job. It's not about the formal relationship. It's about who you really are. We're not talking about relationships here. We're talking about you as a person. If you have to switch up who you are just to be around certain people, that right there, that's the double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. We can't experience the true you, unbecome from that. If I got to understand what Paul says, I become all things to all men that I might win some. He wasn't talking about the mentality of the mindset. He wasn't talking about the mindset. He was talking about being able to connect to the different cultures of people. How did he do that? Through relationship. He got to know the people. He got to understand the culture. He spent time with them. He invested time with these people to understand them in order to speak in a language and about what he was delivering that they could understand. It had nothing to do with, I got to switch up my personality. I got to become this. No, I got to do this. No. That is not what he was. That is out of context. The context of what he's saying was, I have established relationship with many people. These are the relationships I've established, and I can connect with this culture. I can connect with that culture. I can connect with that culture because I've invested time into these people. And they understand me by being as to be this person that I have exhibited. And through that relationship, I have gained another positive person. I have gained another here. I have gained another there. I have gained through relationship, not through schizophrenia, not through the multiple mindset, not through the unstable mind. Unstable, the instability of mind, of the war of the inside. No, that is not what that is. Now, see, when you're talking about unbecoming, we're talking about having a sober mind, a single mindset, the real true you, who you are. Now, the question is, do you know who that is? Can you live as that person? Can you identify with the person who you really are? Can you really bring that person to the table 366 days, 24/7, on a leap year, 366. Can you do it? Can you? Yes, you can, but the question is, will you? Because that requires you to unbecome. That requires you to really be who you are. That requires you to address. Many of us are afraid to address. We want what we want, but we're afraid to address who we are now so that we can unbecome that false sense of personality and really allow ourselves to grow as the tree we are, because the seed is there. The seed has always been there, but have you watered it? Have you nurtured it? Have you begun to develop the tree who you really are? Are you planted in a place that is conducive in the atmosphere for growth and maturation? That means you need to be around people, positive people for you, not the toxic people, positive people. We need positivity. You need to be fed. You need to be nurtured. You need to be maintained. Every living thing. And you're going to become, you must have that. We need that. You've got to have that. You can't go without it. Okay? We're going to take another commercial break and we'll be back with more Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. Welcome back to Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. This is Mr. BU. For those who are joining for the second half, I just want to talk about this here. We're talking about unbecoming. Dr. Moore, using your word. Thank you very much. I love that word. Thank you. In other words, the greater work. You are the greater work. You are the greater work. We all are the greater work in certain respects. When the Bible says greater works you shall do, you must know who you are in order to become that greater work. Yes, man. That part is beautiful, to see somebody flow in their element. You see what I'm saying? It's beautiful to see somebody. That is why when you see athletes, right? You see athletes and you see their lifestyle, you see how they're living, you see how everything, like, it flows with their life. It is mandatory that their life flows in a certain direction. You see what I'm saying? They're groomed in this direction. Their eating habits, their sleeping habits, everything about them is based on who they are. It is not, yes, they make great money. Yes, many of them make good money. Men, they have nice, wonderful living and so forth and so on, but they're doing who they are. They are that person. Now, what is happening inside? What is going on within them internally? That is to be seen. That's to each person. This is the part when we talk about unbecome. See, there should be, again, I'll say it, there should be no separation between who you are and what you do. Who you are and what you do should all line up. So if you're on the stage as a performer, singer, athlete, whatever the platform, speaker, whatever the case may be, who you are on that platform, that is who you are in everyday life. You may not be doing the work 24/7, but who you are should remain consistent. The personality that they see on that platform, that is the personality that you are in everyday life. You come off that platform, you become someone else. You have to, like, shed off that whole persona, and then this other person that no one really suspects comes out. No. Unstable mind. A double-minded man is unstable in all their ways. I'm more conservative than what you see me on stage. Instability. That mindset. When you see that, you are suppressing who you are. It's like you come off of there and you have this shining light, this brightness. You have just illuminated the world with who you are when you display who you are. You don't have to do the Superman Clark Kent, the Supergirl, and whatever her name is. I forget. You don't have to do that. The two difference. Living in two different worlds. Living in two different mindsets. Over here, I got to be this. Over here, I'm thinking like this. When I'm over here, I'm like this. Over here, no. I'm more bolder when I'm in my element. Well, you should be bolder in every part of your life. Why should you downgrade who you are because you're not displaying something to the world? Why should you downgrade how you speak? Why should you downgrade who you are as far as your intelligence? Why should you downgrade who you are as far as your looks, your beauty, and all that? There should not be a downgrade. There should be no separation between who you are and what you do. And it is so important that people understand this, because all this is a part of you unbecoming. All this is a part of you in your greater work. No, it's not about, you know what I'm saying? It is, oh gosh. It's not about what people think about you. You're not a people pleaser. That is the mentality that keeps people in the unstable mindset. You're worried about the opinion of the masses. Who cares? Who cares? Because the same people that appraise you will be the same people that will persecute you. See, here's the thing. People love you for your gifts, but they will not feel you because of what you bring, who you really are. Your gifts will make room for you. That treasure that's inside of you, I spoke about in the first half of the show, that treasure, when the Bible says this treasure in earthen vessels, just know that the treasure that's inside. When I talk about the treasure inside of you, your gifts, your talent, your abilities, everything, all the wonderful attributes that you have, you can exhibit and make change in the world. The ability to create, the innovative part of you, the intelligence, the able to skilled with your hands, the gift of administration, those who are able to teach, those who are able to speak, those who can lead, all these things, conflict resolution, all these great abilities, these attributes that you have that you can offer to the world. All of these great attributes that you have, all of these are the things that should be active consistently in your life. Not just sometimes, not just when I'm over here. Every day, 24/7, 365, 366 on the leap year, you should be consistent in who you are. Because I'll say it again, to be misidentified is to be disqualified from who you truly are. And if you can't define yourself, it's about time you do something so that you can define who you are. You must be able to define yourself. And when you're able to define yourself, you're able to articulate who you are. You're able to share. You're able to exhibit. You're able to connect based on who you are. And when people connect with you when people trust you, they empower you in their lives. And when they empower you in their lives, you can then become the greater work in their life. This is why it is so important that you are consistent in who you are. This is why I am very passionate about this, because it took me a good while to get to this point in my own life, my own testimony. I was not always there. I have my ups and downs. I did it. I get it. I understand. Performing, recording artists, and I'm like this on stage, and I come off, and people's like, man, you are like two different people. And I used to like take pride, and I was like, yeah, we get up there and we do our thing, and it's this, that, and the third, and get up. And it's like, you all are just so humble, until my mentor came up to me and said, no, that's a false sense of humbling. That's not you. Now, who you are up there, that's you. Now, this right here, this isn't you. This is the act. That's the truth. So you got to look at your life and say, what part of you is the act? What is the actor part, or the liar, or the representative? And then what part is the true you? See, that's the part that many people do not want to address. You don't want to do that, because to be who you really are, to exhibit this 365, 366, 24/7, that means that some people who are connected to you are not going to like you. Who cares? Some people are going to have an opinion about you. Who cares? Some people are going to disconnect from you. Who cares? Let them. You got to understand, there is a magnet effect. There's a polarity effect that goes on in your life when you operate, unbecome, and live as the true you. When you live as the true you, it's going to be a polarity effect. Those that's going to come together and magnetize to you, and those that's going to repel from you. It is supposed to be like that. That is how it's designed. Everybody's not going to attract to the true you. Now, when you decide to become that person, and when you decide, because nothing happens until something happens, and you must really decide that this is the day that I unbecome. This is the day that I distinguish which is the act and what is the truth. This is the act part of me, and this is the truth. This is me when I'm in my element, and this is me when I downgrade myself to make other people feel more comfortable around me. Let's just face it. There are some people that are around you when you're in your element. There's jealousy. Jealousy, do you know why jealousy occurs? Jealousy occurs when people don't know who they are, and they admire someone else who do. They admire someone working in who they are, and they're jealous because they haven't figured that out in their own lives. They're jealous because they have not got to that point of saying, I'm tired of not unbecoming. I'm tired of living as someone I'm not. I am tired of having the double mindset. You must be willing to say, I accept the challenge of unbecoming. I accept the challenge of unbecoming. I accept that challenge. See, on social networks, we have all type of challenges that focuses on vanity. Pictures of this here, pictures of that there, pictures of how I look 10 years and how I look now. I'm this, I'm that. Look at me. I was heavy set. Now I'm toned. Look at me now. My hair was raggedy. Now I went from ashy to classy. I get it. I understand you like the feedback that comes with it. However, what about the challenge that says unbecoming. Here is the unbecoming challenge. And this unbecoming, it is not going to happen overnight. This unbecoming, you don't get snapshots that you can just throw up on the gram or the book. It doesn't happen like that for you because this is an inside work. See, when it comes to, people are pleased with other people seeing the external work. But when you are really talking about the true beauty of who you are, it is an inside job. An inside job. Okay, dramatic pause. And we're back. Now, that part, the inside job. See, people run from the inside job. They shun from the inside job. They do not want to. Many people, look, I've had mentees. I've had them, and I would give this disclaimer. They'd be like, Bernard, man, I want to be mentored by you, man. Bruh, I like this. I like how you talk, man. Take me on that. Will you be my mentor? Yes. If I'm led to, and I see this is someone I can invest my time into, yes. Just like in any profession, you just don't pick up any apprentice. This person must show themselves that they are qualified for the road we are about to travel together. Now, I'm going to take a commercial break, but we'll be back with more Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. Welcome back to Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. This is Mr. BU, and I am talking about you are the greater work. Dr. Moore says unbecoming. Now, we're going to go back into it talking about this here, okay? When I take on a mentee, this is a journey. This is a journey of discovery, and I always give the disclaimer. This disclaimer, I give a couple of disclaimers. I say, look, I'm going to give you a couple of disclaimers. Let me let you know. This is going to be hard. You're not going to like it. It's not going to feel good. You're going to it's going to get to the point where you want to quit. My job is to focus on you, focus on yourself as you become who you really are. That is my focus. My focus is not to make you do anything. My focus is to focus on you, help give you guidance, give you wisdom, give you sound advice. All right. And when those times that you're off balance, let's bring you back on balance. Answer some questions, provide some platforms, because that is what mentors do. Don't dangle the carrot in your face, but show you opportunities how to exhibit who you are. Give you that platform. Connect you with those who can help further enhance, because I can't do it all. I am not the one-man show of it all. It takes a team to groom. Connect you with my connections that you may go further and become the greater work. The greater work. See, that is the part that people don't want to do. Not everyone, because there are those who they travel that road. Wide is the gate, narrow is the way. That narrow way, that is the journey less taken, because it requires inside work. Because what comes, the journey and the process, no one's going to see. There isn't a limelight for inside work. There isn't a limelight. You don't get to be, there isn't a praise. See, you're not doing something for someone else and they can clap your hands and give you the attaboy or attagirl or give you the praise that many people seek. This right here, the positive reinforcement that comes with this journey happens while you are doing, after you have groomed and emerged, after you have shown yourself to the people and you have demonstrating who you are, not during the time while you are in the cocoon, so to speak, while you're in your internal metamorphosis, so to speak, going through your change, going through your process, becoming that change, evolving. See, when you have to steady allow yourself to evolve. Don't become stagnant on one level. See, when you're talking about unbecoming, when you're talking about doing the greater work, that you are the greater work, I'll say it again, that you are the greater work. This is what I'm talking about. I need you to understand these facts that I'm saying to you. The facts are that you are the one. You're the master of your destiny. We as mentors, we're here to just help you along the way. We're here to provide guidance. We're like the navigation. Turn right here. That's our job. Stop straight ahead. That is us. Warning. That's what we do. And when you bump your head, we should be there not to ridicule you, not to make you feel like you're just lowest of the low. No, we're here to help you understand. Pick up those pieces. Get understanding of the challenge that you just faced. Help you, give you some answers, give you some insight so that you can now pull out the teachable moments in that failure so that you can do it again. And this time you have success. See, that is the part because I had one person who actually got upset. This person got upset with the fact that they were learning so much more about themselves. And in that, they was like, look, I can no longer act like how I've been acting. Now that I have come into the knowledge of I am accountable. That part right there. See, many of us, we get the knowledge, but we don't present ourselves as being accountable for what we now know about ourselves and what we know, for those things, not just about ourselves, but who we are not. What we should not be doing and what we should be doing and what things, the weaknesses that tend to influence us to veer off the chosen path, to veer off of the path that is meant and designed for us. See, when you're talking about unbecoming, you have to address so many factors, so many areas of your life. It is so many areas of your life that you have to untangle. We're not talking about an entanglement. No, you have to unravel a lot of stuff. Be not entangled again in the yoke of bondage. Once you are freed from it, don't go back to it. Once you are freed from the mindset that you're less than, don't go back to that mindset. I don't care who comes to you and tries to take you backwards. You have some people who are just so negative. It makes no difference what good you do. They are so pessimistic. They will find, they make it their job to point out the flaws in every good. These are the people you do not need in your life. These are toxic people. They're toxic for your growth, toxic for your development, toxic for your journey. And for many of us, these people are they're weak areas in our life. We have to gain strength in order to repel them. As the Bible says, resist the devil and he will flee. But many of us don't want to resist. We want to embrace the very thing that is dangerous to us. We want to embrace the very person, people, places, and things that we know are toxic for our future, toxic for our present, toxic for the process. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Because it's comfortable. It's familiar. It is easier to go backwards and to it than for many people, it's hard to exhibit mental toughness. It's hard to resist the temptation. It is hard to put it down. It is hard to let it go. Because to let something go that's been attached to you for so long means that you have to feel it emotionally. That part is the part that people don't want to experience. The emotional attachments that come with the toxic people, toxic behavior, toxic living, toxic environments. We don't want to let go of the emotions that are connected to it because it causes that detachment. That detachment creates a void that we don't know how to address. But when you have proper people in your life, when you have people prepared in your life, they're not filling the void. No, they're not. They're helping you understand how to remove that void. We don't need fillers. See, our lives are filled with fillers. And we have so many fillers that come in and fill this area and fill this area. But then they're just filling the area just for the time being because it's only temporary. You're only going to, if you are continuing to grow, they're going to just be here for a momentary, they're there momentarily, just for the moment. Why do yourself that injustice? Why do that person that injustice? Why bring someone into your life who's only going to be there? You're using them and they're using you and you're using each other. But instead, rather than do what is necessary in regards to truly addressing, truly detaching, and strengthening yourself, that is what it takes to strengthen yourself, not to allow the void to stay, not to try to fill it with a substitute, but to strengthen that area. It's like you're doing yourself an emotional rehab. You got to rehab. You got to strengthen that area in your life. Meditation, listening to positive people, reading, studying yourselves. For some people, prayer, listening to positive influences, positive music, being around people, not fillers, but being around those who are proven as a culture of people who will celebrate and appreciate you and your growth and your milestones. This is what you surround yourself by. Don't have fillers. When you are becoming, Dr. Moore, when you are unbecoming, there we go, and you are coming into the factor that you are the greater work, and you are going to exhibit yourself as the greater work in your family, your community, the country, maybe regions, maybe national, maybe international. It takes courage at the beginning. You are courageous. You have that strength. You are that person. We need you. Thank you for joining me today on Be the Ultimate You Talk Radio. I just want to let you know that this is Mr. B-U. I believe in you, and I know you can unbecome. Have a good day. Thank you for tuning in to today's show. I'm Mr. B-U, and until next time, be bold, be true,